Caddis Maximus here, this time with a review of the Kidde, or Kid, I don't know how to say their name, Kidde, so I think it's Kidde, 10-year lithium battery-based ionization type smoke alarm. This is a basic smoke alarm. I think they retail for around 18 bucks or $15 commercial, and they actually come in different packaging. Very same smoke alarm, but when you get them commercial, they come in a box like this. It's for maintenance. The maintenance person came by my apartment and they're installing new smoke detectors, so I said I would go ahead and install this one, and they let me, so I'm going to get a review video out of it. One thing that is new is this is just a one sensor type in ionization, which does work pretty well. There's also photoelectric type, and there are ones that are around $20 to $25 have both sensors, and that's really what I'd recommend. But since I had this, I figured might as well review it. On the box, I have this interesting bit of information here talking about how the big difference between ionization and photoelectric smoke detectors work. It says that ionization works better for fast-moving fires, where photoelectric is better for detecting fires that may be smoldering. And I didn't know that, so that's really a reason you would want to use both. It came with some basic warnings, something like this. It does use a lithium battery. It's just real basic, all that's inside a smoke alarm is just a little circuit board like this. And we can see in there that it actually has this permanent type lithium sealed battery, and so when you install it into its little holder here, when you twist it, it hits the little switch and actually powers it on. You can also turn it back off, and if you twist this the other way, it has this permanently disable and discharge, so some kind of safety thing, so it prevents any potential fire hazards from the lithium-ion battery that's in it. So these are sold as 10-year smoke alarms. They have a 10-year warranty, which makes sense, and they're disposable. It's kind of interesting. They say that the sensors after 10 years really should be replaced anyway, so that's why these are becoming more common, because you don't have to do anything. You don't have to replace any batteries or anything like this. You install it, and then 10 years later or so, once it starts chirping, you just replace it, because you know that the sensor isn't as good as it was when you first installed it, and I kind of like that idea. It's not like you're going to go at 10 years apiece. You're going to go through a lot of these in a lifetime. Super basic, just like any other smoke alarm. 85 dB Piezoelectric Speaker. That's like one of these types of speakers here, one of these flat speakers. These are piezoelectric. It's kind of interesting because it turns electricity into mechanical motion. But if you press on this and flex it, it will also turn mechanical motion into electricity. So that's always been the neat thing about these flat metal piezo speakers. You have a test button, and of course a hush button, and once again the mounting bracket. And I'll do a little just show how these are mounted. It's real easy. The screw holes always seem to be at 45 degrees, and then the center line would be this, what is labeled A. So if you have this up on a wall and you want to make sure that the smoke detector actually sits vertically, you would mount it something like this. And then if you're in a hallway, you would want to decide if you want it to point this direction on the hallway or that direction, just by how you do this mounting plate. And you use the mounting plate just to run the screws. It comes with a little basic drywall mounting kit, but since I'm putting this in place of the old smoke detector, let's just show how super easy it is to install and activate one of these. It automatically, once again, flips this switch when you install it into its housing. So I'll show that just a second here. Alright, here we are. These are super duper easy to install because you just have the bracket. This is where the old smoke detector was. The holes are already at 45 degrees. We have this little area here where it actually holds the screw, so you don't want it in the big hole because it'll just fall off. And you just light it up and get one screw started. You'll want to use the little drywall adapters that are in there. I already had some, so I don't have to worry about that too much. We'll just use a little driver here. Run that in. Get this other screw started here. And we'll go and run this one in. Do that just a little more, and that's it. It's all there is. It's pretty darn tight, and so we know it needs to turn this way a little bit. Seat in there, And now it's turned on, and as you can see, we have it nice and vertical. Sorry about the oblique angle. That just about sums up the review of that. I decided I'd make one and make it a little bit more comprehensive, just talking about the various aspects. One thing I was going to mention here is that the instructions are actually surprisingly detailed. This whole section of the sheet is just in one language. That's just in English. I was really surprised. Those are actually quite comprehensive instructions, and it was, whoever made that decision was really, I think was excellent, because, instructions now, people, it's just a joke that you throw them away because many times they don't contain any relevant information, but that instruction sheet is actually pretty comprehensive and definitely is refreshing. So anyway, that was the end of my review of the Kidde i9010 ionization type sealed battery smoke alarm. I really appreciate everybody watching and subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Until next time, Catus Maximus out.